What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JB, and I'm here today with a late review for The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 10, Episode 7, titled Santa Denise. So, you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump into this episode review. Alright, you guys, so this might not be like the longest review, but we're going to talk about it nonetheless. So, we're going to start up with Garcelle. So, you guys know that Garcelle, I know a lot of people talk about Garcelle and the fact that they don't believe that Garcelle should have been a full-time housewife, that they feel like she should have been a friend of the show, just because of the fact that she's off filming different, filming what, two shows that she was doing and doing Coming to America. I disagree with that. I mean, let's take a look at Real Housewives of Atlanta this past season. Nene wasn't in the first few episodes, so I mean, yes, this is a job for them, but I mean, shit, they got to do, they want to do other things, and this is Beverly Hills, so most of these women are, a good few of these women are actresses, so don't stop one bag just because they got another bag. So I'm here for Garcelle being a full time housewife. Let's think of another season where a housewife hasn't really filmed the whole season. Nah, I don't really feel like doing that. But we see Garcelle, and Garcelle is heading to the bus stop. So Garcelle is getting ready to go get on a flight. I don't know where she's going. I'm pretty sure it's either to film, it might be to continue filming for Coming to America too, because I think that filmed in Atlanta. Not entirely positive, but she's going to see her boys before she dips out. Um, she was talking about the fact that she tries to be present because she doesn't want it to be whenever she goes to the kids' school that someone comes up to her and says, "Hey, stranger." That would be kind of odd. I mean, it wouldn't be odd. I'd be like, "Damn, I don't come to the school that much. Like, you don't see me that much. I'm a stranger." But that's it for Garcelle, you guys, and let's move on. All right, you guys. Next up, Denise. Now, Denise does not have a lot going on in these episodes. We are gonna start getting into big stuff with Denise. I think Andy. I watched Andy Cohen. He was on. I think it was Entertainment Tonight or Extra, one of those two, and he was talking about the Housewife shows. He was talking about the fact that Salt Lake City is coming sooner rather than later. He discussed the filmings, for Dallas, New Jersey, and Orange County. He said Orange County was in the middle of filming their season. Dallas and New Jersey had recently started filming their seasons. And he also talked about with Denise and this whole situation between her and Brandy Glanville. God, I can't stand Brandy. He was asked, they were asked, so when is this story arc going to start taking place? So he said it was to take place in episode. We'll see Brandy make her return in episode 10. So we got 3 more episodes until we see the Wicked Witch of Beverly Hills. But Denise, nonetheless, in this episode, she was on the set of The Bold and the Beautiful. Like I said before, I haven't watched Bold and the Beautiful in God knows how long. She was doing her lines, and she was going to finish up at The Bold and the Beautiful. She had to go do a photo shoot, and from the photo shoot, she was going to go meet the girls in Santa Barbara. So let's move on to Santa Barbara, you guys. All right, you guys. So before the girls got to Santa Barbara, this is a trip that Kyle is putting on. So she has all the girls. I'm assuming they were meeting at her place. So Dorit was the first one to come there, and Kyle is telling Dorit that she appreciates their friendship and she just wants to move on from the drama that they've had with each other. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Um, yeah, I don't really see too much wrong with that. So then the other girls arrive, and they head out, and then they make it to the place that they're staying at in Santa Barbara. Absolutely nice. So then they go wine tasting, and they get on these little, those trolleys, I guess you call them. I don't know what they are. And they have a little good time with each other. So then they go wine tasting. Now, once they go wine tasting, drinks are starting to flow with these girls, and Erica noticed something in the water. I think it might have been a seal or a dolphin. I don't know which one it was. I think it was a dolphin. And Kyle made a joke that was, talking about Denise. And speaking of Denise, they talk about Denise. And, all the girls are talking about the fact that Denise has come to three of the girls. It was Erica, it was Teddy, and Sutton. And she discussed the whole thing about, the dinner party where they were talking about threesomes. Excuse me, y'all. And Erica didn't give not one fucking scene because she was talking about the fact that Denise had a hooker at Thanksgiving dinner. I'm like, oh my god, a hooker? Wow. Charlie. Because I know that's who it was. So then Denise shows up. They call Garcelle on the phone. Now, here's what I'm going to talk about Denise. I think, so Denise came off as a bit of a prude. Now, mind you, they're doing wine tasting. And, they getting a little bit loud. I mean, you saw the guys just go over the balcony. So what's so bad about y'all being a little rowdy and a little loud? Then he's like, oh my god, they're probably gonna put us out because they're being so loud. I didn't understand that. What's the issue? Like, if you're loud, you're loud. I mean, obviously, you're tasting wine, you're having a good time. As long as you're not disturbing the other patrons, then I don't see what the big deal is. But whatever. So then we see the girls, they have dinner, and, they're talking to Denise about her role on The Bold and the Beautiful. Again, I don't know very much about her role on The Bold and the Beautiful, but, then I think Dorit asked her about her biggest role, or what was her, whatever. She asked her a question about a role that she had, and Denise said, it was Starship Troopers because that was her, her big break. So then Renna, messy ass, messy with the capital Messy, takes it upon herself to ask her, like, so how was it to shoot the three-way in Wild Things? And Denise says, with the girl, it was okay. But when you add someone else into it, it was just a little bit difficult. And then she says, when it came down to, the movie coming out, when they were in the theaters, she had her mom and dad there. But once that scene came up, she told her mom, she had her mom take her dad out. And, then they ask her, so has your daughter saw that scene? She says, I hope not. But I mean, I don't see it. I mean, I don't really see an issue if her daughter see it or don't see it. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can find that scene anywhere. I'm pretty sure you can find it on Pornhub. I'm pretty sure you can find that scene any fucking where. Now Renna. Let's talk about Renna real quick. So you guys know about Renna's book, and you guys remember, I don't know which season it was, but when they went to Japan, and it was her and Erica and her daughters out to dinner, and her daughters were talking about the fact that they read her book, and they learned how to give head because of her book. Renna doesn't shy away from who she is. She is who she is. Like it or love it, Renna is Renna. And she was like, it was kind of, a little jarring to hear that her daughters had read a book. But, when she thought about it, shit, she taught her daughters how to give head. So, shit, at least she know they're doing it, doing it good. I'm like, well, hell, if you can tell yourself that, I can't hate on you, Renna. And I mean, I guess I can agree with Renna because, I definitely can agree with Renna. I'm going to tell you guys why I agree with Renna. I'd rather my kids hear something sexual or even drug related coming from me instead of them hearing it from a stranger. So I'm not gonna knock Renna because I understand it. You would rather your kids hear it from you than a perfect stranger. So I'm not judging. So then Kyle, she apologized to Denise about the events that happened at the night, the previous night when they were at Erica's. And Denise accepts her apology. And then, she also says, you were talking about that ice sculpture, Kyle. Well, the ice sculpture, Eloise picked it out. And Bravo showed a clip. She didn't say nothing about Eloise picking out that sculpture. But if that's what Denise wants to say, I'm gonna let Denise have it. Yep, I'm gonna let her have it. Then we bring up this whole threesome conversation once again. I get it. That's something you don't necessarily want your kids to hear, but I mean they're kids. I mean now if her kids were like my little cousin's age, he's 7. If they were between the ages of 9 below, yes, I wouldn't want those kind of. But they were teenagers, and I'm pretty sure they probably have done. I mean, kids these days do stuff that you know, they do things that me as a 30-year-old has never heard of and are done. Like for the longest time, it's so funny. I'm gonna age myself. When I was a teenager, my mom, and some of my friends' parents, when we were talking about teabagging back in the day, they didn't know what the fuck teabagging was. They knew nothing about teabagging. And then when they finally found out what teabagging when they finally found out teabagging, they were like, "Oh my god, that's what y'all have been doing?" Yep. Like, so come on, it's I can't with Denise. I feel like Denise is being a tad bit judgmental, and then also the fact that they're teenagers. So when I was so when I was a teenager, I knew all about sex. I knew a lot about sex. I mean, you have sex education, but I knew about sex long before I even got to sex ed. I had my first computer when I was 10 years old. My mom bought me my computer, and sometimes how like you're surfing. If you guys, I'm about to age myself again. Back with the dial-up days, if you click on a website, and it still does it to the, actually does it to this, it still does it to this day. Like if you click on a website, sometimes there's a pop-up block, there's a pop-up that pops up in your face, and like, damn, I didn't click on that. And sometimes it shows you porn, and you click, and me as a kid, I clicked on the porn and I watched it. My mom was pissed when she found out. Oh my god, I had so much porn on my computer. Oh, I had so much porn. Actually, I had so much porn on my computer that it actually gave my computer a virus. That's sad. Like my computer. Well, yeah, my computer got a virus from some of the porn sites that I went to. Man, man. But so I mean, these kids have iPhones, Androids, whatever you got. Porn is at their disposal, and you have your classes of porn you can look at. You can look at Asian porn, lesbian porn, gay porn, threesomes, amateur porn, bondage, S&M, BDSM, like whatever you want to look at, it's right there at your fingertips. So I feel like for Denise, it's just coming off as she's being a bit of a prude, and I get it. Denise and I'm gonna talk about this. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just jump into it. So the next morning, they were talking about what did the kids say, because she was telling them that her daughter Sammy brought it up to her, and Bravo played the clip where her daughter said, they just laughed at it. They thought it was funny. Any teenager is gonna think it's funny when you hear the adults talking about sex. Cause like when my when I was a teenager, and I heard some of the adults in my family talking about sex, I'm like, oh my god. It's just like I don't want to hear that coming from. I mean, it's like I don't want to hear it from y'all, but it's also it's funny because the same shit that y'all doing, me and my cousins were doing with other people. So it's no big deal. So yeah, like I said, breakfast the next morning. It's kind of awkward with the girls, so they start to talk. Kyle, she apologizes to Dorit. And, then, they talk about the whole situation at the dinner party that Erica had. And I understood where Erica and Dorit were coming from. They felt like Kyle was minimizing friendships, and I understand that. I 100% understand that. I hope Kyle understands what they meant. And, Erica was like, you were saying you just said some hurtful things to me, and Kyle said she felt hurt. So I guess until she hurt her friends, I don't know. Now then Teddy chimed in, and Teddy was like, to Dorit, when it comes down to you, can you, if you have an issue with Kyle, just do me a big favor and leave me out of it. Now, what I will say to Teddy is, you keep that same energy as well. If Kyle is in an argument with Renna, Dorit, Denise, Erica, Sutton, anybody in the group, Garcelle, anybody, you stay out of it. Let Kyle handle her battle. And the same goes for Kyle. If Teddy's in a disagreement with any of the girls, let them handle it. Because it does feel like you guys are a package deal, and I have to say that. I understood where the girls were coming from about this whole package deal situation. So they all clear the air with each other. So then Renna's messy ass is going to sit and ask, does anybody else need to clear the room? And well, actually, no, it wasn't Renna that said it. It was Kyle that said it. But then Renna said she had an issue with Denise. And honestly, you guys understood exactly what Renna was saying to Denise. Because it does feel like Denise is being very judgmental, contradictory, because you talked last season about the fact that, Aaron got a happy ending, and then you also talked about the fact that, he has a big dick, and then you also posted a photo on Instagram of him in bed. Now, she said she deleted it because the kid said something about it, but again, Denise, hypocrite. And then, Renna asked her, so did you tell your kids about the hookers? She says, yes, individually she did tell her kids about the hookers. And she felt the type of way about, Renna asking that question. I'm like, well, it's a good question to ask. Because how do you explain? I'm gonna let that one go and let that slide. But you guys, that was the Real Housewives in Beverly Hills. Be sure to like this video. Leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification button so you guys know when I drop anything else. Please share this video, and until the next one, you guys, please stay safe. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.